Hello, Gilad here, coming to you from the absolutely gorgeous Fairmont Chateau in Lake Louise, one of the most beautiful places in North America. I'm so grateful to be here and to be participating in Virtuoso's inaugural Impact Summit, where we focus on all things sustainability and how we can continue to ensure that travel is a force for good in the world. And I just got off stage a few minutes ago sharing a few thoughts about AI and specifically how I think artificial intelligence can be utilized in the realm of sustainability. And I wanted to share just a few of those thoughts with all of you. Now, most of you know me and know a bit about me. You know, my dad was an early AI architect back in the 90s. I started UTrip in 2011, the world's first AI trip planning company. And now I'm deeply engaged in all things AI in the travel and hospitality space. I'm a proud member of Virtuoso's board, and I care deeply about sustainability and the way we can use AI to further our collective sustainability efforts. Now, we all know that AI is here, and we all know that it is incredibly impactful, really intersecting with every element of society and business and our lives. And when thinking about the future of sustainability, you know, and our desire to have these win-win-win outcomes we're all looking for, we knew that AI had to be part of the answer and the conversation as we try to build for the future of a more sustainable planet and industry. And once we saw the responses on the Virtuoso Sustainability Survey from so many of Virtuoso's partners around the world, I was beyond thrilled to see that so many partners in our industry are already using AI in incredible ways to further their sustainability goals. And it just put this fire in me to spread this more widely and to bring these ideas to many more people in our industry. And with the goal of setting us all up for success, both in the coming year and then over the decades to come, I want to briefly touch on what artificial intelligence is, what it can do for us in the realm of sustainability, and why I think AI is a powerful tool in our ambitious goal of having a world with more tourism that's more sustainable for both peoples, economies, cultures, and of course, the planet itself. So first of all, to make sure we're all on the same page, there are three categories of AI we need to remember and to think about distinctly. And they are artificial intelligence, or AI, which includes Gen AI, computer vision, and maybe many other tools and capabilities. And we should all be thinking about these as tools for people and businesses to accomplish their goals, as I've said many times. Next, we have artificial general intelligence, or AGI, which I'm sure all of you are hearing a lot about these days. And AGI represents a near future of AI when we have many bots or AI agents with capabilities at similar level to those of the average educated human adult spread throughout our world, throughout our businesses, and throughout our economy. And of course, at the bottom there, we have ASI, artificial superintelligence, which represents a future state of AI. We're not there, we're not quite there yet, where the AI bots are more capable at nearly everything than the humans with the most expertise in those fields. And this is what a lot of people think about as the intelligence explosion that's coming over the next few years. One other term you're probably hearing a lot about these days is agentic AI. Now, to start off, agentic is just a fancy word for agents, and agentic AI refers to an era of AI that we're soon going to be entering with many, many AI bots or agents spread throughout the economy and throughout our businesses. And within agentic AI, there are two kind of competing visions, and I've shared before that I'm pretty sure that the swarm AI architecture will be the vision of agentic AI that ends up winning. And to start with definition, an AI swarm is simply a constellation of bots working together to accomplish one overarching task, bringing together multiple skill sets and knowledge bases to accomplish something that would be much harder for any single bot to do on its own, and much harder for any of us to train a single bot to do on its own. And as I always say, just like with people, we know that when you bring together teams of diverse individuals with diverse experiences, that leads to superior outcomes, and there's no reason to believe that the same thing won't be true for AI. Now, when we think about agentic AI and swarms from the perspective of sustainability and from the perspective of the travel and hospitality industry, where over 90% of our businesses are small and medium enterprises, there are three reasons why I think agentic AI and specifically the swarm architecture is incredibly beneficial for us. First, swarm AI has a lower bar to getting started, meaning that you don't need to have tens of millions of dollars or giant teams of engineers to begin to deploy swarm AI and to get value and benefits from it right away. Second, it's cheaper to build and faster to iterate and improve, meaning that we don't have to wait until we have everything right to be able to put it out in the world and to get benefit from it. And it means that we can slowly continue to iterate the swarm over time. And most importantly, especially inherent to people focused on sustainability and people engaged with Virtuoso and in the travel industry, the swarm is inherently collaborative. We can work with partners from all around the world for each of us to do that little thing we're best at, and together to compile a swarm that has all the best capabilities, all the best elements from around the world, and collectively to have much more impact, much more quickly. And most important of all, remember, AI is just a tool used by people and businesses to accomplish their goals. So start, as always, by focusing on your aims and our collective objectives. Then choose the best modern technology, the best tools to accomplish our collective sustainability goals. Now, back to the ground floor. There are so many ways to use AI, the tools we've been talking about, in our sustainability efforts. And there are so many partners across the Virtuoso network and across our industry that are doing incredible things. And over the coming months, I'm going to highlight some of them on LinkedIn and through videos, and of course, through Virtuoso Sustainability Summit and our Tech Summit at Virtuoso, and lots of other things that Virtuoso puts out there around sustainability. But I wanted to highlight just a few ways that our partners are using AI for sustainability improvements right now. One example is to monitor and reduce food waste. So many of our partners are working with Winnow, and there's of course other startups doing cool stuff as well, to create win-win-win outcomes, where you reduce the food waste at the kitchen, on the buffet, in the room, which of course has environmental benefits. By reducing food waste, you increase the margin of the business, making the business that's doing sustainability more sustainable in order to have a better profit margin and more sustainable future. And of course, you create a win-win-win where the consumer gets a better meal on the buffet or food that is better matched to their desires. The win-win-win outcome we're all seeking. Another example is using computer vision for conservation tracking and wildlife monitoring. So we have many partners in Africa and other parts of the world deploying computer vision cameras to be able to understand and assess the well-being and the health of the herds and other wildlife in their regions. And just as importantly, to do smart alerts to reach out to law enforcement when there's poachers and other illegal activity happening in the wilderness. And the last category I want to highlight here is using AI for conservation of energy and to protect the environment. And there's a lot of different things we can do there. But it's really important to begin to say is you can't change what you are not effectively tracking. So using AI to better track our impact and the mitigation and really get all the details in there enables all of us to fight back against the negative impacts of tourism on the climate and ensure that tourism continues to be an industry that benefits the world, communities, and economies. And finally, two of my favorite ways to use AI in sustainability is for truly dynamic storytelling and personalization. Using AI, and in this case I'm talking about generative AI, we can tell whole new stories for the first time at scale. And let me just share two quick examples. First, as we all know, sustainability is an effort of the head and of the heart. And we need to speak to both of those at once. What we also know is that different people absorb information in different ways. And there's no right way for one of us to absorb information and to internalize that information. And thus, in our sustainability efforts, we want to bring as many different people to the table as possible. So using AI, we can take data and information we have about the opportunities and challenges we're trying to solve, and of course about the impact we're making. And we can use AI to tell the story in a myriad of different ways. We can create narratives for people who want narratives. We can create videos and visuals for people who want to look. We can create charts and graphs for people who prefer that. I could, of course, give people raw data for those who want to dig into it. There's no right way to communicate our impacts and our desires from our sustainability efforts. And by communicating in different ways, we can bring many more people to the table and to grow our community of people who care about the planet and the world. Second is over-tourism. I believe strongly that one of the root causes of over-tourism is that we've said the same stories to travelers all over the world for decades or even centuries. And the example I always like to use is Venice. And I'm a very lucky person. I've been to Venice many times and I've got to enjoy the delicious wine, the beautiful sunsets. And basically every person walking this planet has a similar story in their head about beautiful canals and sunsets and romance and all the things Venice has to offer. But as I tell audiences on stage all the time, guess what? There's many other places in the world where you can drink delicious wine and see beautiful sunsets, and there's even other cities with canals. So by using AI to tell highly personalized stories, we create the win-win-win outcomes we're all seeking. First, better, more personalized trips for the traveler. Second, spread of the economic benefit of tourism to more destinations and more places around the world that want more economic tourism and more benefits from those economies within their cities and states. And lastly, of course, reduce the negative impact of over-tourism on specific geographies and destinations. These are just two tiny examples of how we can use AI to further our collective sustainability goals without sacrificing the travel experience. And I can't wait to see what all of you come up with over the coming weeks, months, and years. So thank you for engaging in these important conversations on both sustainability as well as AI. And please share with me the things that you're doing to further our sustainability goals by utilizing AI. Thank you.